days may be ominous, there's never a bad day for football. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants. Here's the punter now, Pat McAfee, to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. Bobby Rainey now to return it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
And that's the kind of start every team wants to have when they touch the football for the first time. Here at night especially, because all day long you've been around the hotel. Yeah, you've had meetings, you've had meals, but you've been chomping at the bit to play. And depending on the time of year you play a game, early in the season, you probably like night games. But as the season goes on, most guys like day games because they want to wait around all the time. So taking charge early in a night game is a very important factor.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They run again with Jennings. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
The play clock's running down. Now it's Jennings. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slant. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And that's complete to Lewis. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points. But they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Now the first carry here for Frank Gore. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28.
I still remember when Frank Gore came out of the University of Miami, and there were injury questions about him because of his knees. Guess what? He just had his 9th 1,000-yard season in 2016 with Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's something. It's an Indianapolis Colts franchise that the last few years has really struggled with guys running the football, but Gore picking him back up this year. He's 33. Larry Fitzgerald's 33. Those guys still producing.
And you know what coaches say about both of them? They're the ultimate pros.
And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So on 4th down, the Colts will turn it over to Pat McAfee to punt this one away. Back deep, it's Odell Beckham. It's taken to the 26. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
2nd down following the run. Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shreds the tackle. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
The previous play was a nice run, so they came back with the draw. I think they were trying to fool the defense into thinking they would throw the ball and wanted to run it again. Unsuccessful, but this team is definitely showing they want to keep it on the ground.
Throwing is Manning. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Gold is able to put it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And the Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On 2nd down, here's Love. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Gore back there is the lone setback. They're going to give it to him running right. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through. and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Again they run, again it's Gore. And again he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down. Luck. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. On first down, it's Gore. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Here's Luck. He's got time. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here's Pat McAfee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Brandon, Super Bowl 33 saw Atlanta take on Denver, and they were led, of course, by John Elway at quarterback. Here we are now with Super Bowl 51, and Atlanta back in the Super Bowl. This time, they get Tom Brady. They don't catch a break at the quarterback position, do they?
A couple Hall of Famers. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. That last one was in Miami. This time, of course, in Houston. We'll see if they have better luck this go-around.
Well, the one thing Atlanta has in their favor this time, probably the league MVP and their own quarterback, Matt Ryan.
So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Manning. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Eric Walden coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it'll be 4th down. Taken at about the 36. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, it's time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
This is Jennings. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Rashad Jennings, 35 yards. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Still back there. On the completion, Frank Gore. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll get it to the 23-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
They'll run. This is Robert Turbin. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
And here's carry number 10 for Frank Gore. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
On 1st and goal, Gore. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And Luck hands this one off to Gore. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Frank Gore, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Colts have got it back to a 1-score game. And this one through the uprights and good. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Manning will try again on second down. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come out here in the eye. Here's Jennings. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And on third down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
He finds Beckham complete. 20. Odell Beckham Jr. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, 47 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They'll stick to the ground game with Gore. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now it's Luck. A dump down to Turman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Pat McAfee now, as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Here's Pat McAfee now, as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Manning now on first down. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Here's a nugget, Charles, on OBJ. This year he had 101 catches. Now 288 for his first 3 years in the league. That ties him with his former LSU teammate, Jarvis Landry, for most catches for a receiver in their first 3 years in the NFL.
And just think about it this way. LSU is known as a running back factory as well. So wide receivers coming into the league and doing the damage they're doing, absolutely incredible. But I do know this. OBJ will tease his former teammate and say, don't forget, we're tied, but I missed a few games my rookie year. If I'd played those games, I'd be way ahead of you.
Now Manning. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. That goes for a gain of 31.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Throwing is Manning. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. On second down, here's Manning, eluding the pressure right. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard as the first half is winding down. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Quan Bray now to return this football. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he stopped immediately there. We have hit halftime. Hey, Charles, can you give me a water? Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. One receiver left is Hilton. On second down, here's Locke. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Throwing on third down, Locke. And able to find Dorsett. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there. Gore
back there is the lone setback. Now Luck. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Gore again here on 1st down. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And brought in by Jarrell Adams. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Jennings. And room there to work it inside the 25. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having zero fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
To throw is Manning. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
This will be taken in at the 1. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Another carry now for Gore. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down at about the length of the football. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. They'll try and pick up the first with Gore. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Luck on first down. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Luck gives to his running back Gore. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Here's Gore. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Keenan Robinson, the one that got him down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Here's Luck. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Now it's Gore. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Pat McAfee now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Back now at Soldier Field. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go. It's Gore. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 3. And they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. Fresh set of downs here. On first down, Luck. A dump off here for Gore. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. Second down to the offense needing 5 yards.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a nice little pass and catch there on the corner route.
Set up very well by the receiver with a head and shoulder fake inside before he comes back downhill to his quarterback.
On first and 10, Luck. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Drops it underneath to Gore. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Luck. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on third. Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And able to find Dorsett. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Philip Dorsett, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And the play clock's running down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Trent Cole on the tackle.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
So 2nd and 10 here. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll throw it with Manning. His throw incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Beckham, the lone receiver right. Throwing is Manning on third down. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And this will be taken at the 13. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
They go with the screen to Gore. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. As old West Coast offensive coaches will tell you, every pass play is either a touchdown or a check down, meaning you go through your progressions. You look deep first, then you come back short. Make sure you get completions. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Play fake to Turbin. Now Luck. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Desperation time for Luck on 4th down. Finding time. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches, as a general rule, that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. That's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Play clock winding down. Perkins on 3rd down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This one from 35 yards away. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On first down, Luck surveying the field. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Luck now on second down. And some room to work. And he slides to avoid the hit. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a third down. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. Throwing on third down, Luck. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be fourth down. Here's Pat McAfee now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Here's Beckham. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense. Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Chicago.